not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian. Under 17 not admitted without parents or guardian.
Good evening, fans of fantastic films, and I don't want another one of your rational explanations. It's the Drive-In Asylum double feature with me and Sam Panico and our special guest this evening, Jennifer Upton. Hello, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me again, guys. How are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
Good. Tired. Just got back from an all-day music festival and just made it.
Oh, man.
Who did you see at this music festival?
Iggy Pop, Blondie, Stiff Little Fingers, Buzzcocks, and Generation Sex, which has Billy Idol, Tony James from Generation X, and Steve Jones and Paul Cook from the Sex Pistols.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm tired.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm sunburned and happy. So.
Wow.
Who would you say was the best that you saw out of all of those?
Iggy, definitely. Yeah,
he's still
bringing it. Yeah, he's still so much energy for a 76-year-old, you know. Goals.
What kind of set did he do? Like, what's some of the
He
stuff
did a couple of new songs that were kind of spacey and weird. And he had a full horn section, which was completely out there for him, but it really worked for, you know, like for The Passenger and of course, Lust for Life and all the old stuff, you know. So, yeah, it was fab. Sound was good. Everybody was happy.
I don't know who I would be most excited about seeing there, but probably, Generation Sex sounded really exciting.
Yeah.
They did, and we wormed our way to the front for that kind of semi-front, and there were a couple of songs you could tell they hadn't rehearsed. You know, I was like, okay, all right. A couple of bad notes here and there, and Billy looked like he wasn't familiar with the words. So, okay.
That's why you do all originals that nobody knows. Whenever you do this.
They didn't. They literally just did Gen X songs and Sex Pistol songs.
Oh, man.
And they did a couple of songs from the Great Rock and Roll Swindle. Those are the ones he didn't know.
Ah.
No wonder.
Andy the Cat.
Andy the Cat making early appearance here.
Andy. I love you, Andy. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Man,
I saw your picture of Andy and you, or was it just Andy?
Yeah, his zoom in face. Yeah.
I only see Andy, even when you're in the picture.
Yeah. He's a good boy. He's just chilling out. That's awesome, man. That's an awesome show to get to see.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It took ages to get home though, because the trains were crowded. You know, everybody's piling out. So yeah, it took like an hour and a half to get home. I was like, oh man.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't want to rag on anybody, but the social pages say that Billy Idol isn't really doing that great these days for his live stuff.
Yeah, I gotta say, he was very low energy. Like Jonesy was bringing it, the other guys were bringing it, but he was just sort of like, I don't know, not sure. He's probably lucky to be alive.
Yeah.
I was
So-
going to say,
For more reasons than just the motorcycle crash. Like there's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
he
I
had a
remember
number
when the
of
Cradle of
straights.
Love video came out and like he was so beat up from the crash he could only be the picture on the wall that moves on the wall.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah, and his voice wasn't. It was. He's kind of lost a bit of the growl.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, but it was still good because I got to see two Sex Pistols and then the other Sex Pistol playing with Debbie Harry because Debbie
Yeah.
Harry's got Glenn Matlock on bass. So I was like, I'm happy I got to see three Sex Pistols play live. So
That's pretty awesome.
Wow. It'd be
So-
scary if you got to see Sid Vicious and you'd be like, whoa.
yeah, they did
Holograms
my
did.
way. They did
Yeah.
my way, and Billy Idol was
Hmm.
more or less the audience did the song.
That's what, when you get to a certain point in your career, you can just do that thing where you turn the mic stand to the audience and they just do it for you. And you're like, oh, good.
Yeah,
Thank
it's fine. Yeah. Oh well.
Jennifer Upton, you've got a book that's out.
I
now.
do. Here it is. Skinny as it is, but it's a good read.
It is a
I
good
think-
read.
Thank you. Do you guys have gonna give a copy away a little bit?
Yes,
later
we
on?
are. We will be giving
Yeah.
away a copy of Jennifer Upton's new book, Japanese Cult Cinema, later
Thank
on
you.
the program.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. The lesson I've learned the most is that Amazon is a force to be reckoned with.
Oh no,
That's
why?
all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, it's got to be awful. I mean, I've never dealt with them in that capacity, but yeah, it's got to be a deal with the devil.
More or less. And if you don't use their distribution system, the KDP, they four-wall you.
Ah,
Oh, this book is sold out. No, it isn't. It's really not. I wish it was. So there's ways to get around it. And it took me about a week to figure it out. I was like, okay, I got to figure out the algorithm, figure out what's going on here and a way to, so yeah, that's what I've been working on for the past week. Taking up way too much time.
well, for the next one, you'll be set. You'll have gotten all this stuff out of the way and you'll be ready.
Yes, this was a learning project. This was part of the goal, was to just go through the whole process. And yeah, it's I know so much more, and you learn from your mistakes and you learn from your successes. So it's been good. But yeah, I hope somebody enjoys it. There's a little bit of Gamera in here. You guys probably figured out I love Gamera
Yeah.
from reading it.
It is obvious after you've read it.
Yeah. I can't wait for that new Netflix series. The
It
animated
looks
series.
awesome.
I know. Yeah, I'm so excited about that. Like, what else is going on? You guys, I listened to that podcast you guys were on, the Neon Brainiacs.
Yeah.
Well done. Really
But the
well done.
children, the children. I'm showing you my black fingernails that aren't there. It
Yeah.
was very Nomi Malone.
Yeah. Don't, if Bill tries to hug you, look at his fingernails first.
That movie scared the crap out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I was like, what happened? They went in the fog but it never really fully explained, like, what's going
Explain
on?
it, huh?
Even without the supernatural element, there's a lot of scary stuff in that movie because everybody in that town is nuts. Like, there's
Yeah.
very few people that are good parents. Even the heroine is a horrible mother. She's smoking while pregnant. There's so much.
And speeding
in that
past
movie.
school buses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Yes.
She does
I
not
always
give
say,
a
like, it wasn't,
fuck.
people didn't care about kids till like 84, 85, and that movie is like exhibit number one of like
Yeah.
there's one point where they're like, yeah, I guess the kids aren't home yet, whatever. And it's like, but none of the kids are home and nobody's freaking out today, that'd be like people would be losing their mind.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
Was
Nancy
it?
Grace would be in that town getting hugged by a kid.
Oh, can you imagine?
We can only wish.
That I would like to have seen on camera.
Yeah. Bombshell tonight. I've been hugged by one of the children. She has burned me. They have burned me alive.
Only if we
Yep.
got to see her with one of those pot roast faces like the victims and the children have
Oh.
after they've been got and roasted
Mm.
alive. Anyway, the
Also,
Neon
I
Brainiacs
love
had
the
us.
idea. I love
Yeah.
the idea that they're like, how do we kill these things? What if we cut their hands off? Yeah, okay. I mean, that's good. That's how you kill the children.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember it freaked me out as a kid because when did that come out? 1980, right?
Mhm.
I would have been 8. And being a child of Generation X, I watched whatever I wanted. No, there was no supervision. Are you kidding? It's like,
I
this
wanted to
looks
come
good,
live
I'll
with
watch
in
this.
your house.
Yeah, no, I was literally pretty much the only thing I was told not to watch was Halloween because it was too scary. And what did I do as soon as my mom went out to aerobics class? Watched Halloween.
Duh.
And then when you were scared that night, you couldn't be like, you're like, why are you super? It's fine. I'm not freaked out by anything. I didn't
No,
watch
that
Halloween.
I just loved it. It didn't. I mean, it scared me, but I loved it. You know what I mean? It was like
You didn't have any Michael Myers nightmares that night?
no, but I did have the end of Friday the 13th did that for me. That scared me more.
Coming out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the shock ending, that's the one that did it. But the one that really kept me awake as a kid was Black Sabbath, the Mario Bava film.
Oh wow.
The drop of water segment that tormented me for years. I had to have a nightlight. I'm like, that dead body's coming to get me.
The premature burial was mine. That was the end of the Corman one. Really got me as a kid, and I remember I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I only saw like the briefest clip of the ending, and it was like, wow, this really beat me.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's a good film.
Did any movies give you nightmares, Bill, back then?
Not really. When I was really young, like the first couple of horror movies I saw were Gargoyles.
Mm.
I know I saw The Fearless Vampire Killers, which I thought was really boring, and I probably didn't even watch the whole thing. But I remember the part where the vampire comes down through the skylight as Sharon Tate's in the bathtub, and that was kind of that scarred me briefly. And other than that, I didn't have nightmares about movies. They made me nervous. Like I would think after we watched Halloween, I watched it. I was about 10 years old, and I was staying over at my dad's house that weekend. My mom never would have let me watch an R-rated movie on HBO, but Dad left. Dad and my stepmom went out for the night, and they didn't care what we watched on TV, and neither did the babysitters they left us with. And the teenage babysitters and us watched Halloween, and it would hit a little too close to home, and none of us wanted to go upstairs afterwards.
Oh,
it's dark up there.
I made my kindergarten class show me their fingers to make sure they weren't vampires, that these fingers weren't longer. And the teacher said, "Why are you doing that?" And I said, "Oh, I read something that you could be sick if you have something wrong with your fingernails, and I'm really concerned about my class." So she said, "Okay, yeah." And then I was like, "Oh, I didn't check and see who the werewolves were." So I wanted to see who had the pentagram on their hand. And then she said, "What are you doing now?" And I was like, "I want to see how clean kids' hands are." And she pulled me into the other room. She said, "What are you really doing?" I'm like, "One of these kids might have a pentagram on their hand and bay at the moon." And she was like, "You're in kindergarten." So my parents got called. It was Catholic school.
Oh, okay, that explains it.
So I should have known, like maybe a vampire kid, one, couldn't be in the sunlight, and two, setting foot on the consecrated ground of a Catholic school probably would have burned them alive, right? So I should have just checked for werewolves. I should have been smart. But I was 6, so I was not planning properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting, and the Neon Brainiacs episode's up, so I'm real
Yeah.
fired up about that.
Those
And
guys seem really cool.
yeah, we hang out with them at the drive-in too.
All right.
Yeah, and they actually did an episode at the April drive-in live while people were there, and coming up and tapping them on the shoulders. It seemed like a rough audience to be in front of and just be sitting there doing a podcast, but they did it, so it's pretty cool.
All right. Right on.
We were both on that one, I think.
Were we? I wasn't on the other one. I know that AC was on one of them because I remember him sitting in with them one time as well.
Right, yeah. It was me and AC Nicholas, that's
Yeah.
right.
Mm.
By the way, I want to mention we have to wish Nora Wallace well. She's in the hospital after
Oh.
an accident, a car accident.
Oh,
But
no.
she's okay, and she's with us in the audience tonight in the chat. So,
Oh man,
Nora, I'm glad you're watching. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, feel
that's
better.
dedication.
We wish you well.
Dedication to the viewership. So thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah.
Plus,
I'll-
what else is she going to do in the hospital?
I'm going to have them put the cocktail directly into your IV. Both cocktails for tonight. So don't worry, they taste great. You'll just enjoy them. So they will help with your recovery, I hope.
I hope Leo Rossi doesn't work at the hospital that she's in.
I hope there's more than one patient there.
Yeah.
Nora's wearing a wig, so because she had to get a haircut, so for continuity, she's wearing a wig.
Yeah.
Don't run into the boiler room, Nora. It's a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another thing that came out this week was the Replicator project that we worked on, and now we can finally name another movie that we did a commentary.
Last week of September, it's coming out with another movie that Bill and I love. They're both coming out the same week, so that's super exciting.
The Abomination.
The Abomination, yeah.
Oh.
And if you see I put up the trailers, and they put it up on social media too. This is the best that I've ever seen the Abomination or Replicator look. They both look incredible. So
That's really good.
super excited. Bill, I can't tell you. I had no idea that Replicator came with glasses that will allow you to see replicators, which is one of the best pack-ins ever. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I was just explaining to someone today the story of Replicator, that it turns women's heads into lizards. And they said, why don't they just send guys through it? And I said, every time they send men through it, they become gay. And they're like, why would they make this device? And I'm like, we got to see the movie. It makes a lot more sense if you see the movie.
Oh, it makes total sense.
Yeah, total sense.
And Grindhouse Releasing has
Yes.
a sale going on this way. Aren't they the ones? Aren't they doing a sale?
They sure are, yeah. They have up to 50% off some Blu-rays, and Impulse is on sale. If you guys didn't get it yet, it's super limited, so you should totally get it.
Yeah, only 2,000 copies, and a whole bunch of them already sold. So don't sleep on this. You're going to end up paying a lot of money on the secondary market for it later. And by the way, I'm on it. Okay.
Yeah, you did the ads for it.
I did a great ad gallery for them, and you're going to love it.
Also, I didn't buy the last horror show, Bill, and I know I'm going to regret it. Right, the Severin one.
Oh right, yeah.
Because it's super limited. I didn't get the stuffed animal of Joe Spinell. That sold out.
Yeah.
I talked to Chris Erickson, who's sometimes in our chat, and he's like, I'm not buying that thing in my house. The teeth look so frightening. He goes, it's a haunted object. Why would I put a possessed Joe Spinell doll in my house? That really feels like the worst idea. I bought the Psychic, Bill, and that was the only thing I got. Because it's UHD. It's got the soundtrack. It's got, what, 5 discs. And the only copy of the Psychic I had is a really bad Mill Creek collection one. So I'm like, that feels like the kind of movie that should probably be in my collection and be a better quality copy one.
Yeah.
And Bill, I sent you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Sorry. Do you feel like when you watch that movie that you're sort of seeing her? Because I read that she kind of was like that in real life. Like she believed in that stuff. Like there's something about her performance in that where you watch it and you just go, wow. You know.
You know what's crazy is I just saw her I can't remember the name of the movie. She's in a religious time travel movie that came out 2 or 3 years ago. And when her character is the only one that believes the time traveler that he's a Calvinist priest from the 1800s, and she has a long rant about how bad the media is, and I'm like, oh, 100%, she believes this. Like she's gone from being the psychic to being whoever she is in this movie, but yet her clothes incredibly fabulous. Like I really think she's another one of those actresses that Jennifer O'Neill always brought her own wardrobe to whatever movie she was in.
Yeah, and she was always gorgeous. Like the hair was always perfect. Just stunningly beautiful, I think.
It's funny because I was reading an interview with George Romero yesterday where someone asked him if he ever saw Fulci's movies, and he kind of like brushed off Fulci as like a hack, and I was like, have you seen The Psychic?
Yeah,
it's really fucking good.
Yeah,
And he didn't just make Zombie; he made a whole bunch of other movies.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'm so excited that beautiful collection. I debated getting the Sergio Martina TV series, and I was like back and forth, and then the Vinegar Syndrome sale is going to be going on all week with
I know
low stuff. I sent Bill some stuff from it this morning to tempt him. That's what if you're friends with me, you'll get tempted with Blu-rays. Like, hey, this is
so bad.
Yeah, don't send this to me.
Don't tell me that stuff. I don't have the money to buy that stuff right now.
Oh, I know.
It's worse for me because I have to I pre-ordered Impulse, and I had to have it sent to a relative in New York because they won't ship over here.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, oh God, I have to wait months for it.
At least you have that hookup,
I know. Yeah, I'm lucky that way. Yeah.
Oh. I've seen a couple some companies aren't like me, aren't shipping to Canada anymore. So I've seen a few people they'd be like, hey, will you send this to me? And because otherwise, how are you going to get it? So we are lucky in America.
You are.
Beyond our freedoms and all weekend, right? We're in the midst of it.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
do you know, Jen, do you know the guys from the Schlock Pit from England? Do you know those guys?
No.
David Wayne and Maddie. They actually own a video store in England, and
what city? Do you know what city they're in?
I'll find out what city they're in. They do a lot of commentary. They just did the box set for Arrow of all the full moon stuff or Empire stuff.
Oh yeah.
But they have like a really stacked store, and they get a lot of stuff in too. So you might want to. I'll send you their info. You might be able to get some stuff from them too.
Definitely. Oh yeah. I'm always on the lookout for places like that here.
Yeah. Bill has put up the beautiful Terror Circus Blu-ray here.
Yeah.
Jen, you sent me some images fantastic? For a slideshow, but were there only two?
For Terror Circus, there's Terror Circus, and did I find one for where it's called Nightmare Circus? It's because it had 3 titles, I think, maybe more. Terror Circus, Nightmare Circus, Barn of the Naked Dead.
Well, I didn't get anything that said Nightmare Circus.
Okay, I thought I had it, but
oh, I wish you did, because I tried so hard to find it and I couldn't.
Maybe I couldn't find that one. But Barn of the Naked Dead, that poster, you find the poster, but Terror Circus is, I don't know. I can't decide which title I like better.
They're both great titles.
Yeah. Because there's not
Barn
really.
of the Naked Dead just sounds so sleazy and like, what? Why are they naked if they're dead?
Yeah, and they're not. It's not. I mean, it's not. I don't want to say it's not a sleazy movie, but it's not nearly as sleazy as some of the others that I've seen. You know what I mean? It's like it's pretty well done, actually.
Yeah. It's funny because it sounds like I was worried at first. I haven't seen it, so I'm excited. First time watch. But whenever you watch a movie and I think we talked about it last week, Bill, where it's like it has a great title and you're like, oh man, and it just ends up being a drama. That's what I always worry about with some movies.
You thought Barn of the Naked Dead was going to be a drama?
No, but that would be it. That'd be the one that gets me.
Yeah. I found a little bit of info about this movie that the first director something happened, and I think it was the producer was the director, Gerald Cormier, and he took on too much, and he sort of flaked out on the directing part, and he stepped back, and he said, "Well, I'm just going to produce, but there's no director." So Andrew Prine actually directed a lot of the scenes in this film, and then they brought in Alan Rudolph, who of course has an amazing resume. But yeah, I found an interview with Andrew Prine online, and he said there were a lot of the stuff in the middle. He directed all those scenes in the middle and never got credit for it, but he said he just wanted to get it done.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, an ego thing. He just, because he said he got paid half up front and half when they finished, and he just wanted to get it done as soon as possible so he could go do other work. Cause he was, one of those guys that just constantly worked. And it turned out pretty well, actually. I like this movie. I just saw it for the first time a couple of years ago. There's a couple of the shots on the version that I hope you'll link to. There's a full version of it on Daily Motion that's quite a good print. And some of the desert shots kind of reminded me of The Hills Have Eyes, but when I saw it before, I saw a VHS rip and I couldn't quite get the colors because it was really bad dub. And now that I've seen a good copy of it, it's like, this is a pretty well photographed film. It's you get that starkness, like the same feeling that you get in some of the scenes from The Hills Have Eyes. Like there's nobody out there. So even if you ran, it wouldn't matter. You just run forever.
I agree. Yeah. I think it is well shot, and it's beautiful in certain parts.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the scariest things, and I do think the movie is scary, of Manos, The Hands of Fate, is that like the idea that you can't, in the pre-cleaned up one, in the dirtier one, you couldn't see where the city lights were. So it felt like wherever his house was existed in this void of like the desert where it could be 5 miles any direction and you can't go out into that and live. And it's like, and that's what's frightening about it to me. Like that idea, it's almost the idea of like open water is the same thing. Like where as a human, you're in this completely horrible situation for environment for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And according to Andrew Prine, they shot Terror Circus out in Lancaster, which is about 75 miles north of Los Angeles. Back then, which was in the 70s, there's nothing out there. There's like 5 houses. Now it's all built up. It's technically a suburb now. So I'm not sure where this exact house is or the farm, but it's probably gone, I would think. Because if you Google map Lancaster, it's really well developed now. So
bummer.
But back then it would have just been like what you see, all Joshua trees and flat land, and that's it. Ah, yes.
Let's look at this full screen.
I like the heart over him. That's the best.
Yeah. This is. I watched the first half of this again the other night to refamiliarize myself, and I forgot this. There's a subplot in the movie where these girls get lost in the desert, and you'll see what happens. But this is their manager, and he goes looking for them. They're dancers in Vegas, and he's in this hotel room, this Vegas hotel room, trying to make phone calls to find out where these girls might be. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing, how awesome and very 1970s this one shot is. So first you have not only the awesome artwork on the wall and the Asian lamp, but you have, I believe, on the bedstand there, you have where you put the quarters.
Yeah.
For the vibrating bed.
The blue arrow. And then I've circled the ashtray with the cigarette butts, because in the the lighter, he's holding a pack of, they're not Lucky Strikes, Pall Mall. Were they the ones that had the red?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
They're Pall Malls. Yeah, and the other little bendy blue arrow is pointing at, that is an orange padded headboard next to the vibrating on the vibrating bed. The heart is for the haircut and the sideburns.
You know what he looks like to me? He looks like Joe Flaherty when they did the Days of the Week on SCTV where he was Bruno. Like
Yes.
the evil the evil one that came back to the town. It looks so much like him with that hair.
He does. And the little red arrow there on the left is his little low rise pants and his little love handles, because guys like that got into films in the 70s.
Yeah.
And that all changed in the 80s where you had to be buff, right? So
Yeah.
and the yellow, that's supposed to be like a little compass that's all four directions of the incredible bedspread.
I can feel it now.
It's
Oh.
orange and it looks like it has flowers on it. Everything was orange and brown and like avocado green.
If he was naked in this shot when he stood up, that would be imprinted on his ass.
Exactly.
These are the kind of hotel rooms that when you stay in them, you wonder if something's hidden in the painting, like some horrible message to you. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
this seems like
Camera.
yeah, yeah, or a camera. Yeah, I love that light though, with like the kind of like castle-y kind of look to it.
Yeah, something going on there. Yeah, it's not
This
like
a Night's Inn, which is I've stayed at 2 or 3 Night's Inns in my life, and they're all the most horrifying motels ever. They've always been the worst motels.
I always
Yeah,
imagined that you could
Take that
find like
bedspread off the bed first thing.
yeah. Wouldn't it be great to go into one of those older hotels that hasn't been updated and find like a bag of money under the bed?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Sam used to stay in one by the drive-in in Vandergrift.
Oh yeah, and the soap is still like from the 70s. It had like the date of making. It was like 72.
oh
I was
my
like, this
god.
soap is as old as me. Yeah, that hotel is awesome. It's always booked up though, Bill, because so many what do you call it? What'd you say?
Hipsters.
Yeah, construction workers. That's where they stay.
It's not a
Yeah.
hipster destination.
It should be. You would think. It's awesome.
Oh, I miss this Vegas too. Can I
Oh.
just say, like, I was just at the right age in the 90s where I kind of got the last of the old Vegas, and then they started turning it into like tourist, Care Bears and dancing M&Ms, and now it's just like another Disneyland with a little bit of gambling.
You should go to Vegas with Becky. She lived there for a couple of years. She will show you the places. She just had called them shitholes. The places that still look like this, they are still out there.
Are they?
She took me to them the first night I was there, and I was like, wow, this. And I'm the same way as you. Like, this is the Vegas my uncle went to in 1978.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Ask her if she remembers the Westward Ho.
Yes, she just yelled yes.
What went on
It kind
there?
of looked like that. It kind of looked like that still from the film. It
At the
was
Yeah.
Westward Ho.
They tore it down about 10, 15 years ago, but yeah, it was
I
something.
asked her to take me to Sam's Club, and she's like, it smells like pee. You don't want to go there. I was like, Sam's Town, yeah, Sam's Club. Sam's Clubs also smell like pee. That's another story.
They do.
Yeah. Do they have Sam's Clubs in England, and what are they called? This is my dumb American question.
I don't think we do. I think we might have one Costco, but you got to drive like to the Midlands.
Oh,
So now I always hit BJ's when I go back to visit my family.
yeah. We have those now in Pittsburgh. We just got it. I was going to say we got our first BJ's, but I know someone in the chat will find this hilarious. The first BJ's location has opened up in Pittsburgh. How about that? In Bridgeville.
Oh,
Yeah.
We won't even go there. Okay.
Also, I forgot to give a disclaimer at the beginning of the show because it is the 4th of July, and I live in Western Pennsylvania. There are so many fireworks going off. You may hear Cubby occasionally lose his mind. I don't know if
no.
he's having this trouble too, Bill, but Cubby's at war with America right now.
Aw.
It's not even dark out, so any fireworks being set off are really just they're just for the vibration effect of them, I guess. Or come on, Cubby, show everybody how scared you are. Yeah,
Aw.
He's gonna make hamburger out of your face.
this is like Alien. I'm like Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah. There you go.
I can see in his face he does not like that.
No,
No.
He's gonna
he's
tear
like
a piece of
fuck
flesh off.
freedom, fuck liberty. I will shit on the Declaration of Independence. I will fuck your founding fathers, Cubby. He's like, my First
Cubby.
Amendment, get rid of the fireworks.
Yep.
This
Rule
We
number
bought him
range.
a special Thunder shirt, those ones that because that always worked for our last dog, Keen. Guess what? It doesn't work. It was just like made him a sausage. It like he just had fur busting out of here and his butt, and he couldn't walk. He was like this, and he was still screaming from the fireworks.
Oh,
He looked smaller. It made him even smaller. He was like the incredible shrinking cubby, like Ray Milland.
Nothing's happening here right now. Vivi doesn't seem to get too upset. Like
Yeah.
sometimes in thunderstorms, she wants to go hide under the blanket, but that was last year. This year,
Yeah.
she seems okay. So we'll see.
Mm.
She's grown up. Yeah, that's what Becca said. Cubby has never grown up.
She's
Cubby is
mean.
Cubby's carried around the house so he doesn't have to walk. He's very spoiled. So anything like fireworks, booms. Also, he's a communist. Like, yes. You know what I mean?
Andrew Prine is kind of your boy, isn't he, Jen Upton?
he is. He was one of those actors where you see a bunch of stuff he's in because he's in everything, and you go, oh, it's that guy. And then I saw Simon King of the Witches, and I kind of went, oh, this is
positive,
awesome.
negative. Positive,
Loved
negative.
it. Yeah. Like, and then I started actively seeking out his films where he was the lead. And I found this one and Centerfold Girls, which I really liked. He played a good bad guy.
Yeah.
You know? And he's in the second feature, which is The Evil, which I don't want to talk about too much.
Grizzly.
He was in Grizzly. He was in an episode of The Gemini Man. He was in
Town of Dreaded Sundown.
Town that Dreads Sundown. Yeah, lots of stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
The
He has a
Swarm.
really good, huh?
The Swarm.
Oh, the Swarm. He has a
oh,
really good run of like he's a dependable guy. Where you're like, oh, he's in this. Yeah, I'll see it. That's what got me again. Not talking about too much, but I wasn't sure if I'd like The Evil or not. And then I saw Andrew Prine's in it. I'm like, a welcome friend. Yes,
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
exactly.
You know?
That's I had seen that movie on the video store shelves for years with the hand coming out of the thing.
Yeah.
And I never rented it. And then I saw it at an all-night Halloween marathon for, horror-thon at the New Beverly Cinema in Los Angeles. And it was the third film. And it said The Evil on the poster, but the print they showed said House of Evil.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
And it was kind of a low key because the first two films they showed phenomena and everybody was losing their mind because of the monkey thing and the rowdy audience. And then they showed that and it kind of got quiet. And I couldn't tell if people liked it or not. And then at the end, you could tell people liked it.
It ramps up at the end. Like there's some crazy shit that happens in it.
Yeah. Because
By the way, Andrew Prine is
It's a
totally
slow
not in
burn.
The Swarm.
No, but The Evil is a bit of a slow burn the first half, but it is really interesting because it's different, Anyway, I won't be here for the second segment, so I had to get that in.
We're lucky you were here at all, Jennifer Upton. Thank you.
I-
Yeah,
so
you
much
had a
for
long day.
I did have a
Yeah.
long day. I'm sleeping tomorrow, and I'm drinking water. I'm not going to do the cocktail. Sorry, guys. I'm off brand.
There was a
Next up.
famous quote from Andrew Prine about this movie. And what was it?
It was the only film he regretted making, or one of the films he regretted making because he felt it went a little too far.
Mm.
But then I saw another thing where he said the bullwhip was his idea, so I don't know.
He feels guilty. That's the reason.
Yeah. And there is one line you got to look for it, Sam, where he just kind of looks around at everybody and goes, "You all belong to me now. You know that." And he just like,
Wow.
okay. but I like Terror Circus because it's one of those movies where I like to think about what I would do to get away.
Yeah.
Like you start to strategize when you're watching it going, well, no, that's not the right thing to do. And just do this. And it's a little frustrating because none of them ever do it. But the one girl, she's pretty smart. So,
You mean the final girl?
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. But, and there's some good animals in this one too. Because that's kind of a theme whenever I'm here. There's a snake and a cougar. And that was the other thing I found out. The snake apparently was bitey.
Ah,
So they had to be careful with him. And the most interesting thing I found out researching this film that took me down a rabbit hole was that Andrew Prine's one of his girlfriends in the 1963 was murdered, and he was a suspect.
oh,
He was
wow.
interviewed by police several times. All of his friends were interviewed by police because they had a group that they all knew each other. And ultimately, it was an unsolved murder. They never found out who did it. She was strangled. But she had stalked him. So that's why he was the suspect. When they split up, she stalked him. She sent him creepy letters in the mail, and then she also sent them to herself. So she's a little bit not right. And her father wrote a memoir saying he didn't think Andrew Prine did it. He thinks it was the creepy neighbor. So
Ooh,
he was obsessed with her. So
it's always
they
the
never
creepy
did.
neighbor.
They never found out who did it. So it's kind of interesting.
Man. You know what other TV movie I really like Andrew Prine in is Night Slaves. Do you remember that one, Bill?
No.
It's it's an ABC one from 1970. It's about a couple that Lee Grant and James Franciscus are in it. They're a couple, and they're going to this town while he recuperates from an auto accident, and everybody disappears at night. They keep going to the same place, and the guy has a metal plate in his head, James Franciscus, so he isn't affected by it. But a UFO is there, and they're making the citizens of the town rebuild it so they can go back into space. It's pretty
Wow.
cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta find that.
Ted Post directed it, Bill, and we all know what movie Ted Post did.
Yeah.
Would that be Magnum Force?
Yeah, exactly.
No, of course
What
not.
about-
It's a baby.
And how did I forget when we're talking about Andrew Prine that he's in Amityville 2, The Possession?
He is.
His
Yeah.
father, Tom, the worst priest ever, who, when someone calls and says, my brother is raping me, he takes the phone off the hook and goes, I'm going skiing. Anyway.
And he was in Hannah, Queen of the Vampires, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which
Yeah.
is really interesting. Yeah, yeah,
And Witch House 2? Oh,
Yep.
man.
Lords of Salem.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was in a couple of Tarantino things later on in his life. The episode of CSI that Tarantino directed, he called it Prine and said, this is for you.
Wow.
So yeah,
And he's in 2 Fred Olen Ray movies too, right? Critical Mass and Glass Trap.
That's right. And, yep.
I saw Fred said to you, maybe he was in 3. I can't remember.
Yeah, I didn't get time to look at all of them, but he said he's a pretty good guy to work with. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah.
I saw Lee's message come up too, Bill, and I have no idea what movie we were watching a year ago today. So this is
I
a
don't
great
either.
question if anybody else.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd love to know. I mean, she said no cheating, so I
No
don't know any
cheating.
other way to go find out.
The other Andrew Prine thing I think is amazing is that Tarantino always switches Andrew Prine roles out for what's his name from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on his show. Like when they did the episodes of it, like The Devil's Brigade and Grizzly. Those
Yeah.
are movies that he switched out Andrew Prine's role. So I think he kind of sees that as the kind of roles that what's his name got in movies, like
Yeah.
an Andrew Prine level role, which makes sense.
Rick Dalton.
Rick
Yeah.
Dalton, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because Rick Dalton played the helicopter pilot in Grizzly in the Tarantino.
That's
It's
right.
the coked up universe inside Tarantino's brain.
That's right.
How he saw it.
That's right. Yeah.
It was Bill 1 year ago today. It was Winter Beast and poor Joan Collins in The Devil Within, aka
Ah,
I Don't Want to Be Born, aka a bunch of other stuff.
Hmm.
I think 2 years ago we showed Frogs. I want to say 2 years ago
Oh, I love frogs.
for a 4th of July film.
did
Hmm.
we? I think Gigi Graham was on for that show,
Yeah.
and we did I Drink Your Blood and Frogs.
Yeah.
Mm.
God bless America. That was our
Yeah.
our
Hippies
Salute to
and killer
America with the
frogs.
drive-in asylum. And, everybody else would show Uncle Sam. No, not us. That's what we showed. So
Or
Is it cocktail
tentacles.
time?
Yes. It is cocktail time because I'm getting mighty thirsty.
Mate.
So bring in Robot Sam.
activate.
Oh, it's a holiday weekend.
It is. What better way to celebrate than with a whole barn of naked dead? So this is Terror
Why are
Circus.
they naked?
Because it sells tickets.
Oh.
It's really Terror Circus. But let's just call it Barn of the Naked Dead. This drink is called Barn Door of the Naked Dead. And because it's a barn door is the name of the drink. Really simple. Ounce and a half of vodka. We're going to have a cubby bark. 2 cubby barks. 5 ounces of pineapple juice. And we're going to float about a half an ounce of cranberry juice. That's why I sent my wife to the store to buy cranberry juice this week, just for that.
Just so we can float.
Just for the half an ounce. We all float down here. All right. High alert Cubby on the 4th of July. High alert Sam on Barn Door of the Naked Dead.
We apologize now if you hear our dog during tonight's
Throughout
broadcast.
the episode. Yeah. Throughout the episode. Here we go. We're going to start by you're going to pour over your crushed ice. You're going to pour some vodka. And then you're going to pour over the pineapple juice. About 5 ounces of that. And you can just spill it everywhere if you want.
We know you.
Yeah. And then finally, we're going to try a float here. I don't know what that really means. I mean, I only make drinks every week. But here's how I'm taking it. We're just going
This represents the blood if my husband blows off a finger with a sparkler.
Look at that.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, that's a Barn Door of the Naked Dead. Now we're going to see how that tastes, which is the most important part of any drink. Let's get it. All right, well, Pazuzu. It's very nice. Enjoy the movie. I'll see you in a bit.
Thank you, Robot Sam and Pazuzu.
Pazuzu.
I'm really behind on my drink because one of the elements in the one I was making was sweet and sour mix, and when I got down and pulled it out of the fridge, it turned out to be lime juice.
Oh,
So now my whole plan has been toppled. Absolutely toppled. But I'll get the ad gallery going for Terror Circus, and then I'll catch up on my drink while we're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Frank has called me out for using pineapple juice a lot. Would you like me to switch up ingredients, Frank?
Pineapple's good.
It's good for you.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. This. I have 2 lighter drinks this week too. I'm excited. The second one is a Dr. Arnold, which I'm very excited about.
All right. So there we go. Our first ad up for Terror Circus. Feast your eyes.
It is literally a circus.
Yeah.
Glut your soul on its accursed ugliness. I don't know. Like, I think this is kind of an intriguing ad campaign.
Yeah. Am I going to see any of these things in the movie? I don't know.
What animal is that exactly?
That's that's Norris, my cat that died a couple years ago.
It does look like Norris.
It does. It's like,
oh my God. Norris was amazing. It was so hard to believe he was real, and then he would move and can't speak to you.
Yeah, and he had no fur at all anymore near the end of his life. Oh man, this movie, warning, Drive-In Massacre, deemed to be too terrifying for viewing by the average theater patron. For this reason, it's suggested that those of you with severe emotional disorders or chronic coronary dysfunction not see this movie. The risk is entirely yours. The Parkway was like, you know what? We don't need people to come. This is how we're going to do it. If you got fucking problems, you keep your problems at home, and we're gonna. And also, if you're under 18 and you don't got a parent or adult guardian, you ain't coming. And they did it.
I think it's a brilliant lineup. After watching this movie, Drive-In Massacre and Meat Cleaver Massacre are 2 very crude films. This movie must have looked like, Suspiria next to those.
Yeah. It really has to. Drive-In Massacre is you were saying before, Jen, the scuzzy movie. That's a scuzzy movie.
It is. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. I have to know, Sam, was Norris the cat named after Norris from The Thing or Chuck Norris?
He had that name when I got him,
Oh, okay.
and I was like, Chuck Norris probably would be a good name. So I had a cat named Charlie already. So it was like
Okay.
Chuck Norris. You know, it worked out. All my cats up until that point were named after Manson family members.
Oh,
I had a cat named Tex Watson for a while, and Squeaky. Yeah.
and you have a cat named Andy, not after Andy Prine?
Oh man, Andy is Anderson Cooper is his full name. I did not name him either.
Oh,
Yeah, Norris was an incredible cat. He looked like Master Splinter from Ninja Turtles movies.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and he made the weirdest noises ever. Next time one of them comes up on Facebook, I'm going to share him because he had his own bathroom downstairs that he would stay in at night because he was so old. And when you would let him out in the morning, he would just scream at you for a good minute for confining him.
Yeah.
And it sounded like that was the weirdest noises.
How about the Velvet Vampire and the Witch That Came from the Sun? Did you see
What?
that?
What movie's that? Is that the witch that came from the sea and someone like
Yeah.
confused it?
It's gotta be, yeah.
It's got to be, right?
Every car will get a speaker. You will get to hear the movie. Don't come alone. It's weird. Oh, now this is a dream double feature, Bill.
Ooh.
Again,
Fucking freak.
again, Terror Circus has to feel like a Criterion Collection level movie compared to Bloodsucking
It
Freaks.
truly is. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of a diametrically opposed quality.
Yeah. Ugh. I have to say the name Ralphus out loud just because
Ralph.
we're here.
Oh,
Yeah, I think this was from 81,
wow.
actually.
Okay.
Terror
so-
Circus played for a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't always featured, but I was surprised to find it playing in 79 and as late as 81 as one of the main features.
That is amazing.
It's pretty impressive. Here's the other title,
Oh.
Barn of the Naked Dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, a torture dungeon and bloodthirst. This is a night.
Okay, that's a good night. Yeah, right there. Yeah.
I think it is sort of a Milligan-esque movie, although it's the production values are much higher than an
Yeah.
Andy Milligan film.
Mm.
And people aren't just in the movie to scream at one another. There's no like family issues of like people just losing their mind repeatedly.
Okay, that kind of works.
Yeah.
I thought you'd get excited about this because obviously the Flesh and Blood show, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure that image that they're using is for Kiss and Kill
Oh,
and not the Flesh and Blood show. I could be
no.
wrong.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah.
But you were on one. You were on a show when we did the Flesh and Blood show, Jen.
Yeah, I think that was, last year. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The Barn of the Naked Dead has some really great art by comparison. Wow. Wow.
Oh,
That's the freight show of the year.
I'm
The
scared
whole
just
year.
looking at it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm don't go alone is what a speaker will be furnished to you though. So you can hear the movie.
This is the skull of the last person that went alone. Don't end up like this skull.
Yeah.
This one was really weird with Thunder Fist, Five Bold Women, Doc, and Flare Up.
Whoa.
Wow, 5 films that night?
How they must have started early.
Did this play in Alaska where it was night? for a
Yeah.
long time? Also, I like how specific they are. Like Naked Dead, Barn of the Naked Dead will start at 9:02.
Mm.
Next company starts at 1:42. What is this? TBS? Like
Not
5
a
after the hour?
second earlier either.
Yeah.
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 Barn of the Naked Dead promises no zombies in it. They don't promise living dead.
No.
No. There is a nuclear type creature in it.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're gonna like it.
That's music to my ears. Teenage Strangler feels like the kind of movie that needs what's his name from Teenage Mother to do the trailer for it. Teenage Strangler.
Teenage Mother.
He's 9 months of trouble. Sometimes when I cut the grass, I just yell the trailer for Teenage Mother to myself.
Teenage Strangler is I'm sorry, Teenage Strangler is quite a bit older. It's kind of a weird combination to put those two together.
Yeah, this definitely, as you pointed out in your image that you had so carefully notated, it's a very 70s looking film.
Yeah, it is. It's a wonderful artifact.
That's a positive
good
thing to me.
haircuts and good outfits. You know, good outfits on all the people, and it's pretty. It should be in the Library of Congress for 70s. If you or if you know anybody wants to do set design, take a look at this movie.
That's with this pair well with Carnival Magic.
Oh,
I mean, what doesn't pair well with Carnival Magic? A movie made for children where a monkey is threatened for the entire film with vivisection.
I know. I that was dark.
It's really one of the darkest movies, and they're like, that was Al Adamson's idea for kids.
What about She Freak?
Oh, She Freak would also be good with it.
Mm-hmm.
This has a lot more action than She Freak. I don't want to get you all, thinking this movie's going to be that slow paced.
There's a little bit of Psycho in this movie. He's a little bit Norman Bates going on in here.
Oh man.
I'm
super excited for it now because I've never seen this one, so I don't know why with the title like that and the name and everything. It seems to be something that I should love. So stay tuned. So. Well, hey, who in the chat hasn't seen it before? Let us know. I would love.
Yeah, if this is going to be your first time watching The Barn of the Naked Dead, aka Terror Circus.
Yeah.
Please tell us.
And Mike brings up the Premonition from the 70s. That was on one of the Vinegar Syndrome sets, the homegrown horror ones. That
was Arrow. Yeah,
Arrow one. Yeah, and that movie definitely feels like it would fit into that carnival weirdness as well.
Yeah.
Jennifer Upton, your book, Japanese Cult Cinema, available on Amazon,
Barnes and Noble in the US. Anybody that has an ebook reader, you can get it on Kobo or it's also on. I have an Etsy shop now if you want to buy it direct. And it will very soon be in the UK up on Strange Vice website.
You can buy Drive-In Asylum on Strange Vice too.
You can. I have.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. They're pretty cool over there. So, and probably a couple more independent bookstores coming, but we're still talking. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you for all your support, both of you. You guys have been awesome. Seriously.
Absolutely. We've been watching the trailer on the bumpers to the show, and it'll play on the second segment, Comeback. But unfortunately, Jen is going to be signing off with this.
Going to sleep, yeah. I had a long, long day dancing to Debbie Harry, so yeah.
Sounds like a good day, though.
It was an awesome day. It really was. It was, the queue for the bar was really long, so I only got one drink, so I'm a little dehydrated, but it was just amazing to see all those bands on one stage.
That sounded like a super cool version of Live Aid.
Yeah, it was called Dog Day Afternoon. Is what they called it. And I guess it was Iggy's idea to call it that. They said all these people are touring, let's get them all together. And just do a one-off. And yeah, it was and the best as an American who grew up listening to those bands, the British bands, seeing those guys all in one place was just amazing for me. It was like, oh my God, with a British audience, So
at least there was no horrible reunion of Led Zeppelin to mar the
No.
experience with Phil Collins on
Phil Collins
drums.
playing drums.
Oh God.
What, babe?
It went from bad to worse.
Oof.
Yeah.
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 Live Aid was a shit show. You know, like hardly anybody sounded good at Live Aid except Queen. Like
Yeah.
Queen sounded fucking amazing.
They always did though.
Yeah.
Always.
They were tight. They were so on it, Queen.
Yeah. Did you guys watch any of the Glastonbury highlights?
Mm-mm.
I've been looking at them on YouTube. Yeah.
Sparks blew my mind. I
Oh,
was
always.
like,
They're amazing,
I watched
aren't
that
they?
3 times. I was like, if they come to the UK, we're getting tickets immediately. Like,
Yeah. How are they old men? I don't understand it.
I don't know. It's just awesome. They're so many people don't know who they are, but I
Yeah.
think the Edgar Wright documentary helped. I think
I didn't know about them until Mike Patton from Faith No More covered This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us. And then I was like, oh, wow. Because they sound a lot like his singings. Well, he took a lot from their vocals, I think, the way he sings. So I was like, wow, like it made a lot of. So that's when I got into them.
I was
Yeah.
lucky. Somebody I knew had Kimono My House.
yeah.
And I used to, I think it was a babysitter, and I used to put it on all the time, and the vocals really freaked me out. I was like, this is weird. It's like nothing else I ever heard, but it was amazing. Amateur Hour is on that one.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah.
So
Love
I
this
am
stuff.
excited because there's a concert coming to Pittsburgh in October. Goblin is coming and playing Demons the entire movie. Yeah. Pretty awesome, huh?
Ah.
Are they going to play the Gene Loves Jezebel song? Or no,
Oh my
Motley
God.
Crue?
I really hope they do. I'm gonna bring a can of Coke with a straw in it just for that scene. I can get excited, get my energy, and they're gonna be doing a set of their other songs after. They're doing they're also playing Erie Horror Fest. They're playing Cleveland, Detroit. They're playing I think 20 cities, so it's pretty exciting.
Oh, I hope they come here. I saw
Yeah.
them. They came here when they did Suspiria, when they did that tour.
Yeah.
I saw them in an old church,
Oh, that's awesome.
Ooh.
and the sound was just incredible in there. It was just like, oh my God. Yeah, it was amazing. And I do have tickets to Fritzy doing the Fulci stuff. He was supposed to do it last year, but
Yeah. We saw him at Mr. Smalls, which is an old church here in Pittsburgh.
that's cool.
And they did the Beyond Live, and that was awesome. It was
Yeah, I can't wait.
When you said there was
Also,
a concert coming in October, that wasn't the one I was thinking of. I was thinking of My Life with the Thrill Kids.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Also at Mr. Smalls,
Yeah.
which is really weird. That place is fucking weird. It's like we said, it's an old church, and like the rectory at the back where the priests used to live is all like whitewashed, all the rooms. It's like a maze. I got
Oh,
lost
wow.
in there the last time I was there, and I couldn't find anybody. There were just like these
It's
empty
an
halls.
abandoned. It's an old church with a skate park inside it now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, pretty
That's
wild.
cool. I gotta
And that-
visit Pittsburgh. You guys have the coolest stuff.
Sometimes. Oh, and speaking of cool stuff in Pittsburgh, this week on July 4th, they're going to reveal the movies for the fall drive-in.
That's right. And I'm so excited about it.
I am beyond excited about the what limited I know. I'm just excited to go to the drive-in. I could go and they would show who knows anything. Think of the worst thing. Like, yeah, what's the drive-in, right?
They've already hinted a bunch of the stuff, like they hinted that there might be a movie about a killer bear, and that there might be a movie about a bunch of killer animals that was made the year after the movie with the killer bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and there might be a movie about a whole bunch of them, and they swim around you, and suddenly you're a skeleton. Maybe these were all things that were hinted at. And that's one night is Killer Animal Night, and the next night is going to be old school, super gory Barbie doll arms getting cut off and blood. It's going to be awesome.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I
Super
think I know
excited.
what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Is it exactly what I think it is?
It is. It's exactly what you think it is.
Oh man.
Oh, not pieces.
No? Oh, damn it.
I realized that the thing I thought you thought it was wasn't the thing you thought it
No.
was. It's not exactly what you thought it was.
You
Okay,
don't have to go
okay.
to Spain for a Chainsaw Massacre.
No, this is
Oh, I
old,
see. Okay.
old school,
Mm.
like 1960 something.
Mm.
So there's that to look forward to this weekend. All those films are going to get announced, and they are all stunning and spectacular. And Jennifer Upton, thank you so much for joining us on this first segment tonight. It's
Thank
always
you.
a
Thank you for
pleasure.
having me again. I love you guys.
Don't forget to buy Jen's book.
Yeah.
All of the places on her Etsy shop, on Amazon, where fine books are sold.
Yep. Thank you. If you like, there's I've got stuff in here. All the Gamera movies, not the 60s ones, the 90s one. All the Ring films, a bunch of Takeshi Kitano stuff is in here. Some there's even a musical, The Happiness of the Katakuris. So if you're into all that stuff,
Yeah.
check it out.
Which I had no idea what that was until I read your book, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Have you seen it yet?
Yes, I did.
It's awesome,
It's
isn't it?
something.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Jen,
Yeah.
I thought of you because at Chattanooga Film Fest they showed Necronomicon, and one of the sections is directed by the guy that did the Gamera movies.
Kaneko. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's really wild seeing him in like a horror setting. So it's really good.
He did a remake. Well, it wasn't really a remake, but a rip off of Firestarter.
Mm.
So it
Oh,
was
wow.
it was okay. And he did the Death Notes.
Yeah,
The films, not the animated film, but the live action films. He did the Death Note series.
the other film they showed last night with that was Christopher Gans, the guy who did Silent Hill.
Oh yeah.
He did a giallo for his film school project, which I had never seen. It's only 16 minutes long. Fucking awesome. It's called Silver Slime. It's really good. It's on YouTube. I would recommend anybody check it out. It's
I will.
really, really good.
Cool.
All right, so I posted the link on Groovy Doom for our first feature, Terror Circus, aka Barn of the Naked Dead. It's the last post before this one on Groovy Doom's Facebook page, or it's on Dailymotion. I don't want to tell you to just search on Dailymotion because that's a fuck over moment. And I wouldn't do that to anyone who watches our program. So just go to the page and find the link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And come back afterwards. We'll have lots more to talk about, and we'll set up our second feature, The Evil, starring Richard Crenna, Joanna
Yeah.
Pettit, and Victor Buono.
Yeah.
But for now, brace yourself for Terror Circus, aka Barn. Bye, Jen Upton.
Bye.
Hi, Jen.
Cheers.